White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hello and good evening to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, the present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. Or probably not. Who knows? Well, tonight, guys, we have a special guest on the show. He rarely is. He is a Tottenham legend. He made 567 appearances for the club. He won 2 FA Cups, three League Cups, 3 First Division Championships, and he won the World Cup with Ireland at Tiddlywinks. But please welcome back. This is for a one-off anyway. He is retired, but we took him out of retirement. It took a lot of M&Ms and a bribery, but we got him on. Here he is. Look who's back. It's Philip. Woohoo!
Hang on. Sorry, I was ringing the Samaritans section, the Tottenham Hotspur section with the Samaritans. Must be through to the wrong number.
Yeah, you are. You've come to the
Are you
right
looking at the
place.
Samaritans now, Dermot? God, you're double
Yeah,
jobbing.
yeah.
I bet you're busy today.
I am very busy. How do you 555 appearances for the Irish Tiddlywinks team?
It's not
Did you
bad actually,
enjoy that?
and it was all in a 2-week period as well. You know, we're pretty big.
Was it really? You done
Yeah.
very well.
No, I haven't slept for a month, but
Anyway.
apart from that, grand, you know.
Yeah, and you won the Tiddlywinks Irish World Cup as well, Liam. That's a proud moment for you.
Yeah, it was very good. We had to go to Baku in Azerbaijan to play it, you know. So it was
Did you? Oh, well, fair play to
a
you.
long old trip,
Anyway,
you know.
Philip, look, great to see you back. How are you,
Good.
sir?
Seriously, yeah, it's good to be back. I'm a pity it's not under happier circumstances, though. That's the only thing, you know.
Yeah, it is.
We're going through a bit of a crisis at the moment.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Look, Philip, you've seen it all, right? I know I've said this before, but you've been there and done it with Spurs. You've seen Bill Nick to Birkinshaw to David Pleat, who likes breaking around corners, apparently, sponsored by the AA and RAC. Peter Shreves twice, El Tel with his brown envelopes, apparently. Christian Grace with his train tickets, who loves trains. Harry Redknapp, everyone. Is this the worst? Are we overreacting, or have we every right to react the way we're reacting with the result yesterday?
If you are like looking back over the years I've been supporting Spurs, I have to say, yeah, we are overreacting because we're 3 points or 4 points off the Champions League places, right?
Yeah.
I've seen us been 3 or 4 points off getting relegated. Now that is a with 2 matches to go. That is a kind of a crisis situation. I think I'm blaming social media again. I think the social media has created a lot of the crisis. Now, I've no doubt there is problems at the club at the moment. There is something going on in that club which should not be happening. And in my mind, it's affecting the performances of the players. It's affecting the crowd. The crowd yesterday, it was like being in a library. And all we call Arsenal's ground the library. We nearly inherited that title yesterday. The bloody tractor boys are out singing us. And, you know, all the time. So, yeah, there's something going on. What it is, maybe we can discuss tonight and find out.
Yeah. Can I just say, fair play to Ipswich yesterday, by the way.
Absolutely.
Very well played.
I have nothing but admiration for Kieran McKenna.
Yeah.
I think he is an absolutely brilliant young manager. He learned he cut his teeth at Tottenham. He went on to Manchester United. And what he's done at Ipswich is nothing short of remarkable. 2 promotions.
Yeah.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
And absolutely brilliant. And good luck to
them.
I hope they stay up. I really do. You know?
Yeah. What got me yesterday, Philip, wasn't ANGE, and we are going to get about ANGE and his in-game management. What got me was Johnson pulling out of that first goal. That's the bit that got me when you could see Smiddix, right, doing the overhead kick. And there's a little part of me thinking, brilliant, he's in good form for Ireland. He's going to come into the international team full of confidence now. But there's 95%. Huh?
It was the last thing I was thinking.
I know, but there's not 95% of me thinking, Johnson, why did you pull out of that tackle?
And it's not only that. In the first minute, Sonny set him up with a great chance.
Yeah.
And he put it wide. If that had gone in, I reckon we would have walked that match yesterday. Because that would have put Ipswich right on the back foot. Ipswich, their game plan yesterday worked 110%. They will never have a game plan working as well as it did yesterday for them.
No. Look, before we get started, Philip, before we get into it, I just want to plug our sponsor. And there it is. Of course, it is Private Internet Access. Our sponsor, I have got a video. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Come on. Usually I have this. I'm usually well oiled now, Philip. I see you come on and I've just gone, you know, gone to pot. Gone wobbly at the knees as Philip goes to Wembley. Never mind. Anyway, this is our channel sponsor, Private Internet Access, the one and only channel. Great sponsor to have. Of course, when Philip's doing his business, like from his laptop to his internet, all these other people have it, hackers, corporate, governments. But once he uses access internet, private internet access, it's just kept away from them. It's kept to himself and his internet browsers. Of course, you can use it on your phone if you're out and about, of course, around the world. You can put your phone on if you want to watch EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm. You can also connect it to your laptop as well. So you can watch everything from Prime Video to Clarkson's Farm, do all your banking on it as well. Everything is secured and it works on all phones and all networks as well. Of course, you can use it on all your devices from your TV to your Xbox to your PlayStation. But the benefit is Philip gets his one. His whole family can use it around the world. And it goes from everywhere, from China to America. It does hide your IP address as well. So your IP address is hidden and it also shreds everything that you do. They got over 30 million subscribers already. And of course, they've got 4.5 stars on total. Rather, it is Private Internet Access. It is our channel sponsor. And what a grand job they do as well. It's 43 euros, guys, for 2 years, plus 2 months free at the end of it, free of charge. I know, Philip, you use it.
Yeah.
How do you find it? It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it was there, you know. It's just there in the background. It's humming away. It's keeping you safe. And like I have it on my work laptop, and like I have stuff on there that needs to be kept very sensitive, you know. So I'm very happy with it. And
Mary can use it. Your wife and your children, family can use it as well.
She has it as well now. She wouldn't be as big a user as me now, but yeah, she's using it. She finds it very good.
Yeah. So everyone, look, the Godfather has spoken. Listen to the Godfather. If he tells you it's good, it is good. Just be careful. Horses' heads do apply. This is the game, of course, we did play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or should I rename it tomorrow, the Plough Hotspur Stadium. yesterday in London. 61,505 poor sods watched that yesterday, Philip.
Well, there was 3,000 or 4,000 very happy people amongst them, the Ipswich fans.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I was watching Dave's show for this, and Brad came on. And Brad said the players went up to the South stand to clap them, and the Tottenham fans booed the players yesterday when they went up to clap them.
If I paid big money to have a seat in that ground yesterday and watch that performance, I'd be inclined to boo them as well. Now, I don't like booing. I think it's counterproductive. But I would have been very, very tempted to join in yesterday.
Now, look, if you look at the Galatasaray game on Thursday, Philip, and to the game yesterday, Radu, for me, has had two very bad games for Spurs.
Shocking.
Two very good. Would you have played Ben Davies yesterday?
Yeah, I would have actually, yeah. I would, because Ben Davies never lets you down. I knew Dragosin was going to have a nightmare yesterday in the very first minute when he tried to put the ball out of touch. It was never going to go, but he stopped and let the Ipswich play get in behind him, and they hit the bar from that move. I said, here we go again. I think his confidence was shot in Galatasaray, really. It really was, and maybe he doesn't play well with Romero. I don't know. God help us. We got to get Mick van de Ven back, and hopefully he'll be back after the break.
Hopefully he will be, and so would Odegaard as well, because I think Sonny looked shot yesterday.
Sonny wasn't the worst of them now, to be honest. At least he seemed to be trying. He had a couple of reasonably good runs, but it's like as the game wore on, he just seemed to fade out of it. And like the way I would look at it, when we got the goal from Bentancur, I thought, here we go. This is it. We're going to get back into this. We're going to win this match. But there was nothing after that. We just seemed to be resigned that Ipswich weren't going to be broken down. And Ipswich were looking to be the more likely to score near the last 10 minutes, when it should have been Spurs. So, it was a head-scratching performance. It really was a head-scratcher.
It really was. Do you know what, though, Philip? Ipswich have beaten us 4 times in a row now in the Premier League.
Oh, isn't that disgusting, really, when you think of that? Okay, I know the last one was 2001, but still, it's not where we're coming from. We shouldn't be getting beaten by teams like that. Like Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago hadn't won a game. Dr. Tottenham was in the house, next thing to have. Same thing happened yesterday. It's become unpredictable, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. The match officials, Philip, I know you love talking about VAR and the officials. We are going to get on about the other breaking news tonight, about the other official. We might start with that now very quickly, Philip. He has been suspended by the Referees Association, rightly so as well.
Yeah.
And he refereed the Liverpool game at the weekend, which is more weird.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, there was no decisions given against Liverpool match. Villa should have had a penalty, not given.
Yeah.
So, no, I think he was. Listen, I don't know how the FA or how the Referees Association got hold of the video. Some friend must have passed it on. Like, listen, banter in a pub. I'm sure every referee in the country has called various managers likewise. Unfortunately, David Coote was caught on record doing it, and it's probably going to cost him his job, which is unfortunate. He's not the worst referee. I mean, I think that was Michael Oliver. I've been doing handstands here, but it wasn't.
No. And also, very quickly, Gary Lineker's going to leave Match of the Day at the end of the season. He's going to stay on and do the World Cup.
He's probably feeling he's had enough. He's done long enough, and Lineker is a bit outspoken as well. So I'd say he's rattled a few feathers in the BBC. Who will be very stiff upper lip and old school tie type of stuff. So actually, I rarely watch Match of the Day anyway, so I don't really comment too much on him. I only watch it when Spurs win.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 people I wouldn't think would work at the BBC: Jeremy Clarkson, Gary Lineker, and you.
Well, Jeremy did work at the BBC for years in Top Gear.
Yeah, till he clumped an Irish fella.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I think I wouldn't get on the BBC because I'd probably say something I'd regret. And
that's what I'm saying.
The BBC, cricket would have to be your favourite sport anyway, not football. That's a common game.
I could see you doing cricket commentary, Philip. I really could. That's a grand shot by that. What's that player's name? I don't know who he is. Sodom. Anyway, match officials. Darren England was the referee. Fourth official was Robert Jones. The VAR was John Brooke, more like John Crooks. And the assistant VAR was Mark Scholes. No relation to Paul Scholes, I can assure you. The referee yesterday, Philip, out of 10, what would you give him?
He was all right. I didn't see anything wrong with him. Give him 7 out of 10. He was at a fit. He didn't really notice him too much, which is a good sign in a referee, you know. And the VAR decision, well, I think he knew bloody well the way Solanke ran back to the halfway line, it was going to be disallowed. He knew he'd handled it, you know. So, you know, no real complaints about the official.
I do. I think that should have been. He was pushed into it, Philip. I think that should have been given.
Yeah,
I really do.
Maybe he was, but obviously they don't look at it that way, you know. And no, listen, I don't want to harp on about referees. It was one of the games with not too much controversy in it, anyway, you know.
No, that's so true. We've got this is of course this is the stats of the game. I mean, the stats. I mean, if that was the stats, people thought Spurs should have won that 5-0. We had lots of possession, more shots on target, more shots than Ipswich, more touches, more passes. They had more clearances, Ipswich. We had more corners. Do you know, Philip, look at that. Anyone seen that? You think Spurs would have won 5-0? Can
I just say something about the corners? I would say out of those 12 corners, 10 of them went straight to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Every single one of them. Why couldn't we float them, you know, hit them in harder or hit them further back? They just it was like target practice for the goalkeeper, catching practice for him. Our corners were.
There was there was no variety to the play, wasn't there?
No variety.
No. I mean, there could have been a few short ones or float ones in long round the corner or
at the back post.
And what got the back post. Yeah, even our crossing was woeful yesterday. I mean, Philip, I am scratching my head. Why? I mean, surely they're trained, they're footballers. They know how to do different corners of different crosses. Is it a case of, I said it to you before we came online for live. I said to you yesterday, does it seem to you they didn't play for ANGE yesterday? There seems to be something there that's brewing and the team players are thinking, right, we're going to take the player side.
Well,
the Maddison, possibly ANGE row.
Yeah, I think there is something going on with that Maddison because he's not featuring in the league. And bringing him on by a couple of minutes ago yesterday was ridiculous, to be honest, you know. I think for any player not to play for their manager, right? If they're not playing for their manager, it also means they're not playing for the fans that pay their wages, which to me is unforgivable. You know?
Yeah.
If they have got a problem with ANGE, they deal with it in the dressing room. As soon as they leave that dressing room, they are Tottenham Hotspur players. They play for the shirt, they play for the fans, they play with pride, and they play with passion. Unfortunately, there was none of that there yesterday. Absolutely none of it. From the first minute on, we were passive. We let Ipswich dictate a lot of the play, which, to be honest, to me is a bloody insult now, to be honest. You know, a team hasn't won a game since it came up. Dictating that the play at our place, where we've beaten Manchester City and Villa in recent weeks. It's just unbelievable. And where does the blame lie? Well, obviously it lies with the players. They're the ones on the pitch. But I also blame ANGE. Now, Dermot, you know, I've been, since ANGE's day at Celtic, I've been a big fan. But
we both have.
We both have. We've seen what he can do. And I think, as I said earlier on the video, ANGE made a rod for his own back this season by saying he always wins something in the second season, right? Now, we know that's happened, but I think him amplifying it now and reminding people now has put tremendous pressure on him, and it seems it may have also put it on the players, which really is not the way you want to be, you know? So I think that I have a serious problem with ANGE going forward if things don't improve quickly. And I think Daniel Levy is getting itchy fingers at the minute because we all know November is a time of the year that Daniel likes to get the old shotgun out and get rid of the manager.
Do you feel he deserves time though, Philip? Do you feel that Ange deserves to January to use the January market to address the problems we have in the squad? And look, we've got the team up there, Philip. Where is the problems for you in the squad? Where in that 11 do you feel we need to address in January if Ange is still here?
On paper, on paper that should be a good enough team to beat most sides. But yesterday, the midfield was non-existent, really. Kulusevski had probably the worst game he's had for Tottenham ever. He was completely anonymous yesterday. Bentancur was good. I have to only for him. I know you've given Kulusevski a 5. I would have reversed those scores, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Papa Sarr, they look tired after being out in Istanbul. And they've now created a record. They've lost all 5 matches leading into an international break, right? And I'd say our record after European matches isn't much better. So what can be done with the squad? I voiced my opinion about Vicario recently. I think Vicario has gone down a little bit in my estimations. His crossing, his dealing with crossing is terrible. Really is. You know, I know he's a great shot stopper, but he needs to improve. And I think he needs to bulk up. He seems to me very thin, very, very lightweight for a goalkeeper, you know? The forward line yesterday, while with the top scorers in the Premiership, you never think after watching that performance yesterday. Really poor. So, like, there's nothing on paper that needs to be addressed there, but the players need to step up and play to their capabilities. And none of them did. None of them did.
No, I mean, let's start with. Look, we've got a comment here from Neil. Then we'll get back to that because I've got a few questions about that team. Big up to Neil as a member as well, guys. Look, if you do look, we are on the march for 2K. We're only 32 away, guys. So do hit the like button, subscription button. But once we get to 2Ks, and if you are a member, you get automatically put into a competition where we have a signed Gary Lineker shirt to give away. It is authentic. I've seen a picture of it. Colin has showed me it. It's the 1991 FA Cup final shirt with Gary Lineker signature. So pick up your memberships. Once we reach 2K, the day we reach 2K, we will do an independent draw live on air. We'll get an independent somebody to do it. I don't know. We might get Harry Redknapp to drop a few, envelopes somewhere along the line, or we might get, I don't know, Blondie to come on. Might get Mr. Blobby to come on and Noel Edmonds if they're still working together. But yeah, you will be entered. So you can only be entered if you get your memberships. And Neil says, it's not playing for the manager. It's not following his game plan and lack of respect for the opposition. Yeah. For them to lose to Palace Ipswich is mind-boggling. They don't respect lower seeds.
Well, the recent results would bear that out. When we beat City and Villa, and we don't lose. We lose to Palace and Ipswich. Now, no disrespect to Palace and Ipswich, but their game plans were perfect. They've sussed us out. And as Ange got the notes to change things that people can't suss us out. That's my big worry at the moment.
Yeah. Look, big up to Aaron as well. Big up, great seeing Aaron. Says we need another striker, 2 midfielders and 2 defenders.
Yeah. When I was defending the team there. What was on the pitch should be good enough. That's not to say we don't need reinforcements as backup. I quite agree there. We probably do need another striker because Richarlison's out for definitive and undefined length of time now. 2 defenders, probably another centre back and another full back, and 2 midfielders. Well, I don't know about that. We should have enough midfielders on the bench. Like we've got Basuma, we've got Bergvall, we've got Odegaard. I think we're okay midfield if they actually do their job.
For me, Philip, it's backups. We need a decent backup goalkeeper. This is where I would go for Kelleher at Liverpool. Somebody that's going to push Vicario for his place.
Kelleher won't go to the club and it's going to be number 1 down. That's why he's leaving Liverpool. I doubt we'll ever get Kelleher.
Yeah, but if he well, you got that. You got Bazzuno as well, but he hasn't been playing. He's been pushed out at Ipswich, at Southampton. I think we need a centre back. Definitely need another centre back, and I think we need a backup striker.
Yeah,
I think we need to do that in January. It showed shockingly how much we missed Van de Ven yesterday. Romero's head's turned, it or not. He's looking at Real Madrid.
Yeah, but I know. What was I going to say there? It's gone out of my head now. No, go on. It'll come back to me.
I mean, look, Solanke, I thought, did well yesterday. Look, this is my player ratings anyway. I've given Vicario 4. I've given Udogi 4, Romero 4, Dragoson 3. I've given Porro 4. I've given Bentancur 4. I've given Papasar 4. Kulu 5. Maybe Philip is right. Maybe I did get that wrong. Maybe it could be reversed. Fair enough. Brendan Johnson, who I'm a big supporter of, he was woeful yesterday. And the pull out of a tackle, I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. I don't care who you are or what you are. Do you know, I don't care if you got an international team game coming up. You put your foot in for the club that pays your wages. You don't duck out of a tackle. And he didn't do it once, he'd done it twice. Sonny 4, he tried. And I give Solanke 5. Solanke works damn hard up front.
He does. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But Dummy, you've hit a very good point there. I think the reason we're losing games before international breaks is too many of the players are watching out for their international games in the following week.
Yeah.
They're scared of getting injured. Johnson pulled out of a tackle, although it's scientifically proven you're more likely to get hurt by pulling out of a tackle than actually making the tackle. Yeah. You know, because for the follow through. So yeah, I think a lot of those players were looking at their international games at the weekend and thinking, hang on, when they should be thinking, I owe the fans in that stadium who pay my wages, I owe them more than my international thing. But that's not the way it seems with Tottenham.
No, it's not. I mean, Philip, you look at that team. That team should be Ipswich Town, hands down.
That team beat Aston Villa, a much better team with ease.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't know.
So the question for you then: what did Ipswich get right? I mean, we can all know what went wrong for Tottenham, but what did Ipswich do right to stay for us? Was it playing 5 at the back? Was it a low block team again we can't break down? Or did the players just want it more?
The players wanted it more. Their players, Kieran McKenna, that's a notch in his bedpost, if you like, coming to his old club and winning the first game of the season. He would have psyched those players up for that game like no other game this season. And every man jack of that Ipswich team did their part to the last degree. I mean, I admire them for it. They didn't buckle under the pressure when Spurs got the goal back. We all thought, here we go. But the Spurs never materialized because Ipswich didn't panic. They regrouped. They got their act together again. In fact, they looked more dangerous towards the end than Spurs did. You know, and I've got a lot of admiration for teams like that. And I hope to God that Kieran McKenna will manage Tottenham at some stage in his career. I've no doubt about that.
Yeah. Philip, you've watched a lot of Spurs. I'll to the other bits of this in a minute, guys. Neil says as well they have kids that are chomping at the bit to be played. If this first team players ain't going to show up, then give the kids the experience. You know me, Philip. I've been saying, pardon me, play the kids. I think play the kids now. You look at Mikey Moore. Absolutely, he's got an illness at the moment, but
he showed more.
Yeah. You look at Lancashire. He was biting at Galatasaray. I know he got sent off, but he was trying.
Yeah.
Is it time to look at the kids, or do we need to buy experience? Is that the problem?
I think, I know I don't disagree with you using the kids, Dermot, but I think we have to use them sparingly. We can't use too many of them at one time. Bring them in one at a time or two at a time. But to bring in a whole load of kids, we're not going to go anywhere. We need a mixture of youth and experience. You know, like I had to laugh. They were talking there a couple of weeks ago when we beat Manchester City. They were saying, "Oh, what a pity! That was such a young squad Manchester City put out. The average age of that Man City team was bigger than the Spurs team, but nobody thought to correct Sky Sports on that.
No,
we have a lot of young players in there. When you look at none of those players are over 30 except Son.
No, they're not.
You know, so I mean, we've got a young team in relation to other Premiership teams. We just need to get the right blend. And unfortunately, I'm beginning to wonder: is Ange the man to get that blend right? But my next question is: we need players in January. Is Daniel Levy going to back him? That is another big question.
Yeah.
So I think the answer is no.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Let me get through these comments here, Philip. I got a question for you. You made a very good comment. I want to get back to that. Neil was said that, and big up Simply Ace as well. Big up Simply Ace. Hope you're doing well, sir. We are losing games partly because the players lack grapefruits.
Yeah.
I love that. I do love that. Fair play to you. Love that. But also Ange's system and failing to make tactical changes quick enough to turn games around. Ange has to go. He's doing nothing. Philip, there's a lot of Ange out. I said yesterday, a line in the sand has been drawn for me with Ange. And I think the same for you as well.
I say this with the greatest regret because I do honestly want Ange to succeed. And I did honestly think he would, but I've got the feeling now we are too predictable, right? We're too easy to play against at the moment. And Ange does not have the capability or the willingness maybe to change things whenever, as Simply Ace rightly says there, we're not changing tactics quick enough. We're not reacting to things happening on the pitch quick enough. When the other team makes a substitution, we should make a tactical substitution to negate that substitution. Not happening. Too late, making substitutions at the 80th minute, too late. So I do think that a manager, he's a good manager, he's got great ideas, but I think at this stage we need someone that's got experience and is able to adapt the team during a match and not play things the same way for 90 minutes.
Yeah. So who do we bring in then? If you get rid of Ange, who's out there? I mean, look, these managers are out of work at the moment, Philip, right? You've got Gareth Southgate, Graham Potter.
No.
Ruud van Nistelrooy, I know, is available after leaving Man United.
Very interesting in him now.
I think Xavi's available as well.
Yeah.
Sam Allardyce, don't. Big Sam at Tottenham. That will happen one day. But Philip, we've seen Conte and Mourinho football, right? We went to the Champions League quarterfinals, you and me, and we saw Conte ball, and we left there disillusioned with Spurs. That's it. We had the channel to run. I think that what kept us going that season was this channel, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because we had to do it. But we've played defensive managers. Now we've played attacking manager with Ange, and it's now starting to fall apart. Where do we go from here? Who do we bring in? I mean, do you go for a Gareth Southgate type manager, which I don't think will work? Graham Potter? Maybe. Van Nistelrooy, definitely yes, because I like the way he plays. Also, the Brighton manager.
31 years of age. What Brighton have done. Okay, I don't feel so bad about losing to Brighton now after seeing what they did to Man City on Saturday. So but he won't leave Brighton for a while. He's there for a while. I don't know. I think Graham Potter has been out of the game for a couple of years now. I don't know whether he's clued in yet or what. It wasn't a success at Chelsea. I like the way Van Nistelrooy got United playing. Like, I know the United are a flawed outfit like ourselves, but I think he will be a decent enough acquisition to have. Even to bring him in alongside Ange, but I don't think that would work either because there'd be egos coming into it there. If there was going to be a change of manager, he would certainly be a choice. Although there's probably some of these geniuses on the continent that we haven't really heard of. Some of the German managers managing the German team. There's probably a few of those that we could look at. But I just feel that if we lose heavily to Manchester City, and let's face it, somebody's going to cop it from Man City soon.
Oh, they are.
And I think that could be the end of the road for Ange.
Yeah. Look, we could have got. You look at Arne Slot. We could have got him, Philip. And look, when we were looking for a manager, how many times did we get news of our source, which was pretty spot on? Arne Slot was due to become a manager down to money. Yeah. You look at Ten Hag, had an interview, not good enough. He's now available. Ten Hag's another manager that's available, by the way. You look at then Ange comes in. We all love Ange. You, me, love Ange. Great, come on, we've got the Ange ball running, Ange training, all this. When's it ever going to get right for us, Philip? Because we can't. Look, I'm going to say it now. We're not Levy out in this channel, and we're not Levy in. We're sort of in the middle. But is the ball now with Levy? Is it now starting to point that too many fingers are in too many pies outside of football, outside of go-kart tracks, concerts, the hotel? And look, we got the talks with Amanda Staveley looking to come in, and we've broken a bit of news on that sort of a takeover. She wants, apparently, there's rumors that Eddie Howe could come in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not against. Go on.
I just asked, you and me have gone through 4 different ownerships at the club, Philip, from the Wales to Scholar to Sugar, now to Levy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've only had 4 owners, really, technically, haven't we, at Tottenham? 4 proper owners?
Well, in our lifetime, yeah.
In our lifetime.
Yeah. But Sugar as well. I like Sugar as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't like sugar with my tea. Never have done. If anyone's wondering when that came from, that was from Venables, when Venables and Sugar were at each other. And there was a thing going around Spurs fans, wasn't there? There were signs at the time, no sugar with my tea. Philip, do you feel Levy's taken Tottenham as far as he can take them? Is it time for a fresh ownership? That's why I'm asking you now.
Right. Daniel Levy, I mean, I don't have any problem with the extracurricular activities, right? In fact, it made me laugh today where Adele is thinking of running a few concerts at the White Hart Lane Stadium during the summer. Well, the sort of song she sings would be right up our rally at the minute, slow, depressing stuff, you know. But she's a big Spurs fan. But no, what I would say about Levy is this: I don't mind him getting money from NFL or go-karting or jumping off the side of the building, whatever you do. That's fine. But the football should be the priority, should be number 1 in his book. And unfortunately, I don't think it is. I think it's taken a back seat, because if it hadn't taken a back seat, he would have backed managers to the hilt with players purchased in the past, which he's never really done, right? I think the Amanda Staveley thing could be absolutely brilliant for Tottenham, because A, it'll take the football side away from Levy and give it to people that might actually, concentrate on the football side. Let's face it, when you see the word Tottenham Hotspur, right, your initial thing is, oh yeah, Jimmy Greaves, Danny Blanchford, the double. Yeah. It's not Guns N' Roses or Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean? But they're taking over in people's mindsets.
Yeah. And this was my argument the other day, Philip, as well, that the younger generation, it is that. It is Guns N' Roses. It is go-kart tracks. It is Skywalk. Where our generation, it's all about, my generation is all about Ricky Villa, Ozzy Idealist, Tony Galvin, your era, Jimmy Greaves, Dave Mackay. And I'm doing a show this week, and I'm going to do it myself. It's a solo thing. I want to ask a question. And why you're here, Philip, I want to get your opinion on it, because I think it's great to have you. It's great to have you on. I know you're not coming on very often, but to have you on tonight's an honor, and great to have you. It really is. I've missed doing shows with you. It's always a good laugh, because we don't know where it's going to end up. We tried to do a post-match show, and me and Phil get talking about football, and it just goes all over the place. But is there I don't know if you watched the Glenn Hoddle podcast with the overlap with Roy Keane and Gary Neville.
No, I didn't actually. No.
You need to watch it. It's a very good podcast, Philip, actually. And Roy Keane sitting there looking at Glenn Hoddle starry-eyed, like, because Roy Keane's a massive Spurs fan. So he's looking at Glenn Hoddle like with his mouth wide open. And Glenn Hoddle said there's a very much split between the older generation Spurs fans. Yeah, no, Casper the Ghost is behind you, Philip.
No, I'm gonna need to be plugging my laptop in the minute. I'm looking for a charger. Sorry, go on, carry on.
That the older generation are more about what Tottenham have done in the past and the history and everything like that. But the younger generation don't care about that.
Yeah.
Is there a divide between the fan bases between our generation, Philip, to the younger generation that are coming up now supporting Tottenham?
Probably, yeah, because there's so much else going on now. Apart from, like, in our day, football was, that was it. That was your hobby. Now there's so much else people things to do.
Mm.
But one thing slightly connected to what you're saying there. So I saw somebody passed a very good comment there. They said that a Tottenham Hotspur in the home game at the minute is looking a bit like the queue at Heathrow Terminal 5. There
Yeah.
are that many tourists in the ground, right? So I would like to see more tickets made available to the fan clubs and the season ticket holders, and let the real fans into the game. Now, okay, it's great for people coming from Korea
Yeah.
to wave their flag and give me your shirt to Son, but those guys don't make any noise, and they're gone at the end of the match. And you never see them again. We need people in that stadium who are committed. Be like Liverpool. You might give out about Liverpool, but there's some atmosphere at the Liverpool games at the start of the match.
There is.
Thinking you'll never walk alone. So if you
Well,
had, say, 5,000 tourist tickets for sale at each game, right?
Yeah.
Cut that to 1,000 and give 4,000 people, take them off the season ticket list. And you've got real fans in the stadium, and that could make a big difference.
Aren't we though classed as tourists though, Philip? You and me, we come from Ireland.
We're members of supporters club, them. And no, I'm like a lot of those Korean people are just going to see Son. That's it.
Yeah.
They're not there to say Tottenham. They're there to see Son.
They're entitled to be there as well, Philip. They pay their money.
They're entitled to be there, and they're big money spenders, and that's another thing that Levy looks after nicely as well. But I still think the more real fans you have in that stadium, whether they're traveling from Ireland, Scotland, France, Australia, they're the ones you want to have in your stadium every home game.
So is it down to atmosphere for you, like Liverpool or like Old Trafford? I've been to St. James. I've been to Anfield. I know that you hear "You Never Walk Alone." That is a shiver down your spine moment.
Big shiver down your spine. You know? Okay, when the Spurs go marching in, can give you that at our stadium. But the only time you ever hear it is when we're comfortably winning a match. You'll never hear that song being sung if we're 2-0 down, because the fans are too busy moping and crying and giving out. Quite rightly so, on the likes of yesterday. But I just think that we've got to go back to the grassroots. So back in the 60s and 70s, every single person that was in that ground was a diehard Spurs fan.
Do you think the club's lost its identity?
Well, from that point of view, they're making too many tickets available to people that, like, I'm not knocking tourism. I mean, far be it for me to knock tourism, but I think if it affects the atmosphere in the ground and affects the noise of the fans in the ground, then I really do think that the ticket allocations should be looked at.
Is that more of a Premier League problem than a Tottenham problem? The Premier League is probably the biggest league in the world. Is that more of a Premier League problem that the Premier League has made it so international that people are latching on to Premier League clubs, where back in the day with the First Division, Philip, the First Division wouldn't get outside of, probably get to Ireland and Scotland way, but they wouldn't watch it in France or Italy or Germany or South Korea or Japan or Australia. It'd be all. Do you know what I mean? It's
true.
League made a run for it going back.
Like, I'm looking at a place like St. James's Park, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're practically all season ticket holders that go to that ground.
Yeah, they are.
There wouldn't be that many touristy tickets going. Manchester City probably have tourists coming from Abu Dhabi and places like that. Yeah. Manchester United, I think, is fairly universal as well. They would have a lot of tourist fans. Well, yeah, but most of their fans live in London anyway.
Sorry, Colin.
What they do. They reckon when Spurs and United at Tottenham Stadium, the locals have a much shorter journey to get home, you know. But that's
what do you think quickly on Man United? Very quickly, what do you think of Man United though? Since they've sat Ten Hag and bought Van Nistelrooy,
I think they'll be much improved now. I'm not looking forward to playing them next month, because I think they'll be a much better team by the time he gets his hold on them.
Yeah, you know? So. I agree with you. I just want to go through these chats, Philip, before we carry on. Spurs playing was sloppy.
I'm going to plug in laptop here. We're back in a sec.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Neil Shafton, big up Neil, and the member as well. Big everyone, be like Neil and get a membership. There is a video from the Godfather himself going up tonight, and that is for members only. So get your memberships to watch that video. It is a cracker. Believe me. Spurs playing was sloppy. The passing was horrible. The overall attack was timid. They made mistakes. Yeah, it was woeful yesterday, Neil. I mean, I did the watch along to it, and I got to the point where I just looking in disbelief at how we were playing, how we were playing Ipswich. We should beat Ipswich Town, no problem. but we weren't. It was woeful. Simply Ace, big up to you. It says we're losing games partly because the players lack great. Oh, I read that. Sorry, I did read that. Sorry. Neil says we have gone the replace manager for too long now. I do agree with that. It's not the problem. It can't be the managers all the time. It's the players being bought. So far, ANGE players have yet. Look, I agree with that 100%. I think you can go too long on rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I think you can do that too much. But, we all know Daniel Levy's got a trigger finger. And we all know that Daniel Levy will pull the trigger when he thinks that Champions League is out of it. And your saving grace is we're only 3 points off Arsenal. And what really annoyed me yesterday, it really pissed me off yesterday. It was the one thing that really pissed me off. All our results went our way. If we had beaten Ipswich, all the rest of the results went our way. And we would have been third. That's the bit that pisses me off, that all our results went. The Forest lost. Arsenal and Chelsea drew. Do you know what I mean? They all went our way. We would have been sitting at third, and you and me would be having a different conversation, Philip. You and me happy clapping away. Tottenham in the title race. We're after Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? It's just Neil. I get you. The players have to take responsibility, and they do have to bear responsibility for that performance yesterday. Owen says, no, I think he needs more time. I don't think Levy is still getting the players Ange wants. When was the last time we brought a big player name into the Spurs? Van der Vaart. Do you know what? He makes a very good point there. Alan Sugar, for all his faults, Philip, put his money in his pocket and bought. Remember that World Cup summer after the 94 World Cup? We bought Klinsmann, Popescu, Dimitrescu. Yeah. Who else did we buy that summer?
Dimitrescu.
Was it them three?
Those three, anyway. Let's see if there's anybody else.
But nobody, that's just Jurgen Klinsmann. Nobody thought Jurgen Klinsmann would ever come to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah. Remember, Sugar went to Monaco and signed him in Monaco.
Yeah. And you look at your time, Ricky and Ozzy and Ricky coming to the club.
Yeah.
Do you know where's the last big? I mean, this is Daniel Levy again. I don't want it to be a Daniel Levy sort of thing, but fingers are pointing at him, Philip. Fingers are pointing at him.
Fingers have been pointing at Daniel Levy for the last 12 years, 13 years, more maybe.
Yeah.
He's always had fingers pointed at him because effectively he hasn't changed in the 20-odd years he's been there. He's the same Daniel Levy. Different day, different manager, different, maybe slightly different tack. He's loosened the purse a little bit, but he has never, ever totally backed a manager with the players that the manager has asked for.
No.
Look, we wanted to sign Bruno Fernandes. We didn't get him.
Yeah.
We wanted to sign
Jack Grealish, apparently.
We didn't get him. Well, I'll tell you what, I would take Jack Grealish in a heartbeat. But the problem there is going to be not the transfer fee. It's going to be Grealish's wages. Levy will not pay them.
Yeah. I was watching a show today on YouTube, and big up to We Are Tottenham TV, and I was watching them while I was working, putting some thumbnails together, and Ben and Sim were talking. And I think it was Ben said that Tottenham have cut their wage budget down by half.
Right.
So they got money to spend on wages, Philip, but they're not spending them.
Yeah.
Do you know? You look at Paul O'Keefe. We could have got A.B. Gallagher. We could have got him. We could have got Pedro Neto. Tottenham didn't want to pay the cash up front.
Yeah.
We got these players. And how long did? Huh?
No, go on.
No, go on. What were you saying?
I was going to say, you've also got the problem. If say now, I don't know who the biggest earner at the club is. It's probably Timo Werner or Sonny. They're probably so you bring in another player at a higher wage than them. There's immediately this jealousy element creeps into it as well.
Yeah,
these guys all know exactly what each other's earning, and that you bring in Jack Grealish at 300 grand a week. What's that going to do for the morale of the dressing room? Now, if we got Jack Grealish for 150 grand, great stuff, take it. But will even Levy pay that much? It's to my mind. The great thing is you've got to speculate to accumulate. In other words, you've got to spend money to make money to get titles and get trophies. And unfortunately, Levy is reluctant to do that. And I think what happens over the next couple of months is going to be very, very telling. If Amanda Staveley and her gang comes in, then the purse strings will be off because they will buy players. They will not hold back. Yeah. They will buy players.
No.
Levy's out of the way.
Does it need that, Philip? Do we need to go back to the Scholar sort of era of... Look, I don't want to go back to the Scholar era, but does it need more of a... Do you know what? Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's one season. Let's push the boat out and let's go for it. We see where we get.
I think Staveley's money coming. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite here and say I'd be happy if Saudi Arabian money or Qatari came into the club. I was very against it during the World Cup, as you know. But I'm now of the opinion I want success at Tottenham so bad, right?
Yeah,
I would take that money as long as it's put to proper use. And if Amanda Staveley does come to Tottenham, I guarantee you Eddie Howe will follow. And that'll be our new manager.
Are you more a bit Levy out than you were, Philip?
I am, yeah. I am afraid so. I'm still listening. I still give the guy credit for a lot of things he's done. Don't get me wrong. But on a purely footballing front now, on what he does for my beloved Tottenham, right? And is he holding us back? Yes.
Yeah.
What should happen to if he's holding us back? Let somebody else come in that's not going to hold back.
Yeah, I think he's the stumbling block, isn't he? He's the problem. I think you look at it. He is the problem. It can be managers, right? We had Conte sack Mourinho 5 days before cup final. I mean, we'll never know why. It was something to do that. There was a rumor going around that Mourinho refused to take the players out to training because of the Super League. We had Conte for all these faults, Philip. I mean, you and me went to that game. We were, I don't want to relive it again, but Conte's words have come back to haunt us.
I'm still having therapy after that one.
But whatever you think of Conte, Philip, he was damn right in what he said when he left the football club.
He was.
You cannot fault him for what he said.
No. You can't.
The buck stops at the top, Philip. It's like you doing your job or somebody working for you. You're the boss. You have to give that employee the tools to do that job. If you don't give them the tools to do that job, the buck stops with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The buck stops with Levy. Enough is enough.
Yeah. No, I think we've come to the stage now. This could be the tipping point. For the first time, I know there's been rumors in the past few years about this and that's going to invest in the club or going to take over the club. Amanda Staveley's got history. She did it with Newcastle, right? She's now severed her ties and she's looking to come in again to the Premiership. We're an obvious choice. Yeah. I think if the money's right, okay, Levy still has control over the go-kart and the hotel and the skywalk, but let him do that. That's his problem. Let somebody else take over the problems of the football club. They're running the football club. Buy the players that we need. Get the manager in if needs be. If you need to change the manager, change the manager. But give the fans. Can you imagine the sigh of relief that'll go up from the Spurs fans if Levy finally does go? Now again, I'm being critical of him up to a point. I admire what he's done. He's got us a fantastic stadium, and he's probably got us financially one of the best clubs in the world. But he doesn't get it when it comes to football, and that's it. That's the problem.
Do you feel, Philip, that he's... Look, I agree with what you said. I think you and me have always been very balanced on Levy, to be fair, and this channel has. But I think over the last couple of games, and I think with Ange and Levy, and he wasn't backed in the summer, Philip. Going out, they done brilliant. Coming in, it was woeful.
Well, apart from Solanke. Apart from
Solanke. And even Solanke, when Solanke came in,
there was a lot of pushback.
I was very... Pardon?
There was a lot of pushback. A lot of people weren't impressed.
Even I was one of them.
No, I was happy enough for them. I was happy with them,
Yeah. We've got big up to Jared as well. Jared O'Connor says, we've spent big 400 million on dirt and still stand by it, Dermot. Yeah, I know, man. the culture of the players, money for old rope. He's saying we are the third biggest spenders this season. It is. I don't know if you've seen that table. We are actually Man United are 600 and something million. No, Chelsea are top with 4.3 billion.
Not just this season, though. This is all, isn't it?
No, for the table was how much money have spent since the time Ten Hag was at Man United. So 2 years. Chelsea has spent 1.3 billion in 2 years.
Good.
Man United has spent 600 and something million in 2 years. We spent 513 million in 2 years.
Right.
We're the third biggest spenders in the last 2 years.
Now, that being said, we've also signed 3 players that haven't appeared at the club yet, really.
That's true.
The Argentinian lads, what do you call them, has gone out on loan out to Spain. We've got the young Korean guys coming in. I think he's coming in next month to get acclimatized. And we've also got the Croatian centre back. So they're ones for the future, right? But what we need is get them into the club, get them acclimatized. I know Bergvall had a nightmare against Galatasaray, but he's one of the players for the future that we've got. So we have bought some decent players. We haven't bought all rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
no, we haven't
in there, but oh, excuse me. But again, January window's coming up now in 6 weeks' time, 7 weeks' time.
Yeah,
very important. It's probably the most important window we're going to have in a long, long time. We've got to strengthen certain areas for backups.
Is between now and January, if Ange stays, make or break for Ange?
Yeah, I mean, if Ange survives until January, he's there for the rest of the season, I think.
Yeah.
If we don't win a trophy or don't qualify for, I would say, not even the Europa League might be enough to save him if the money is spent and the return is there for it. So I would say, whatever way we're looking at it, there'll be a new manager in Tottenham for next season. Whatever happens.
I say so. Yeah. No club was interested in the players we signed this summer. Fair enough. Levy was a miracle worker for the club. Miracle worker for what? Not one of our big signings have been a major success. And Owen, big up to Jared as well. Great comments. But Owen hits the nail in the head, I think. Yes, Levy's done extremely well for the club. Great stadium, hotels, go tracks, but a bare trophy cabinet. No point having a Ferrari with no engine.
Yeah, that just about sums it up.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Ange's comments after the game, Philip. He had the altercation with the Spurs fan as well.
Yeah, I wonder what the fan said to him.
I wonder what the fan said to him. But this
it
was
wasn't well done, Ange, anyway, that's for sure.
No, this was what Ange said in the press conference. We're far too passive without the ball, allowed them to feel comfortable, and that's what we don't want to do when we're at home. He went on to say he apologized. It's his responsibility. He will make it right. But how can you make it right when all the players have gone off in international duty, Philip?
Yeah, look, it's
very hard to make it.
5 or 6 senior players there with a lot of kids for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay saying it's his fault. Okay, he's taking the pressure off the players there a wee bit, you know. But I think the pressure should be put on the players a little bit because these guys aren't playing for a Sunday league team. They're playing for one of the major clubs in the world, and they're on massive wages, and they're not.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you don't do your job, right? Okay, you're saying the buck stops here, but those guys, if I didn't do my job, my boss has every right to give me a bollocking, right?
Yeah.
These guys deserve it big style for the way they performed yesterday. Hopefully, it'll react, and it'll be just like Tottenham to go and beat Man City again in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I know it would. I can see it happening.
It's the most Spursy thing you could ever do. But will that happen? I doubt it. But we do need to get those, whatever the problem in the dressing room is, get it sorted out before the next match.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then Sonny came out as captain as well. Look, fair play for Sonny coming out. At least he took, well, you can say responsibility for coming out, but Bobby had to as captain. Look, we'll have to take big responsibility. I just want to say sorry about the result. I am sick to death of them saying sorry, Philip. Just prove it on the pitch.
Do you know what it is, though? Every time we lose a match, they go into the dressing room and say, "Okay, which apology will he use tonight? Number 1, 2, or 3?"
Yeah.
and they picked the stock apology and the way they trotted out. Think everybody's fine. It's not fine. The boos that team got from the fans on the South Stand yesterday was totally deserved. And I'm not a fan of booing.
No, I mean Tottenham's like if anyone's a big Monty Python fan, and Philip knows where I'm going with this, it's the night when he gets his arms chopped off and his legs chopped off, and he's still that's Tottenham Hotspur in a nutshell. That's Tottenham Hotspur. It's that night with no arms, no legs, none, and he's still trying to go around in circles. That's Tottenham
but at least
Hotspur.
he kept going. At least he kept going, Dermot.
It did, to be fair to him. Big up to Wilton McDonald. Finally, good night, Dermot and Philip. I'm very, very disappointed with the players at this club. We've seemed to have players who have signed and come on holiday. How can there not be for the game at the week? I don't know. Look, do you know what gets me? It's people like you and Wilton have watched great Tottenham sides in the past, Philip. Watched the 70s sides. I mean, I was lucky enough to be alive for the 80s side. And then the 91 side. Watching all them great players, you saw the end of the Bill Nick era. You saw the bit of the Bill Nick era.
Yeah.
You and Wilton did. I mean, Philip, you look back. I don't know how long you support Tottenham. 50 years, 60 years?
Nearer 60.
What if I could ask you and Wilton, I want to ask you to put in an answer to this question as well. Do you recognize the club that you started to support 60 years ago, Philip?
Well, I think, that's you're right. The name is the same, right?
Yeah.
But everything else about not just the Tottenham, but the whole footballing scene has changed from a national sport, which was watched by diehards that went out every Saturday and paid their $5 to watch the match, it's now a worldwide phenomenon where people watch games in Australia at 3 o'clock in the morning. So it has changed. Obviously, it's moved with the times. Whether it's moved completely correctly is another thing. Like we've got the VAR situation hasn't helped at all. You can't celebrate a goal now for 2 minutes after it's scored. Things like that have not helped the game. The money that's come into it as money's the root of all evil. And it's proved the case, especially with the likes of Manchester City breaking the rules.
Yeah. But as Tottenham as a club, as the Bill Nick spirit and everything, is that there anymore for you, Philip? I mean, Wilton says no.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not because again, the days in the 60s when I started going to Spurs I was supporting Spurs 10 years when we actually got to White Hart Lane, right? But I always remember the game. Like we played Aston Villa, we beat them 4-2. I stood behind the goal in the Paxton Road with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. So that was her visit to White Hart Lane as well. And it was tremendous. There was no tickets needed. You turned up at the turnstile and paid your money in cash. And then away you went. And nowadays, if you turn up with cash at the turnstile,
there's no turnstile.
There's no turnstiles for a start. And it's ticket only and it's sold out weeks in advance. And I know a lot of the fun has gone out of it. A lot of the fun has gone out of it.
I feel Tottenham's there, but the spirit isn't there. It isn't the club that I see. For me, once they knocked down White Hart Lane, I think the club died. Personally,
it might not have died, Dermot, but it certainly went into intensive care.
Yeah,
which it's still there, to be honest, and will be until they win the trophy. Once Tottenham win a trophy,
I don't think Daniel Levy wants to win that trophy because that's going to put pressure on him to win another one. He just doesn't want to go to that pressure. And Conte was right. The club don't want the pressure. And the pressure is to win a trophy, Philip.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's going to be another one.
A change of ownership at the football end of things will change that mentality. Do you think Amanda Staveley is going to come in and be happy with a place in Europe every season and no trophy? No. She will be gunning. No. She will be, the minute she takes over that club, she will be into the dressing, lads. The old days are gone. The new regime starts today. We want success. And that's what I'm hoping happens.
I hope she does. I quite like Amanda Staveley. I think, look, they were they had money problems, but not much, but they were tight in FFP up in Newcastle.
Yeah,
And
we're not.
maybe
We're not.
we're not. No. Wilton's put a few good comments. Gerard says when Arsenal built the piggery, they still had success without breaking the bank. That is so true. That is
Yeah.
so true. Wilton says 100% correct, Philip. I'm fed up with the inconsistent performances of this team. They're being paid big bucks to play
Yeah.
football.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you think Jimmy
Aaron
Greaves
says,
never won more than 100 quid a week in his life, that
no.
to me is the ultimate irony of things. Jimmy Greaves would be on 200 grand a week if he was playing now.
Yeah, I know. Yes, Dermot, totally agree. Sorry, me ass. Yeah, no, sorry, but glad you agree. Wilton says, no, just the name. I paid sixpence and owed money.
Good
Wow.
God.
Enter the boys' entrance to see the likes of Cliff Jones, Morris Norman, Cyril Knowles, and Dave Mackay, etc.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember
I still love. Yeah, go on, Philip. Go on.
No, just on that. I remember when I was living in Birmingham when I was a kid. My dad used to bring me to see Aston Villa, and what he'd do was he'd pay for himself at the turnstile and throw me over the turnstile. So really, but nothing.
Do you know what? I remember my dad taking me, cost me a £5 to get in Tottenham back in the day.
Yeah.
Something around about £5 or £6 to get in.
Yeah. That's it.
I always remember that the Tottenham fans in the East Stand, Spurs fans are the greatest fans in the world, right? The little kids couldn't see it, even in the 80s, because we had the fences up then. And they used to stay, the East Stand, right, used to let the kids stay at the front, the fathers in the back, but there was always a gap in case there was a surge, right? And Tottenham were brilliant at it. They had 2 gates open either side of the East Stand, so the kids could get out first. But I always remembered, like, the East Stand going in there, everyone looking out for one another.
Yeah.
It was like a family. You were near the shelf. The shelf was its own experience in itself. I never stood in the shelf. I wish I did, but I never did.
No, I never did either.
White Hart Lane back then was just a feel of history and Bill Nick, Jimmy Greaves.
A field of dreams.
Yeah. And even when they went all seated, you still went there and you could still sit there before the match and look at the pitch and imagine Jimmy Greaves on the pitch or Dave Mackay or Ozzy Ardila. We went back to the new stadium, Philip. I don't know about you, but for me, every time I go there, it's like I feel disconnected. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't. White Hart Lane was
unique.
unique. White Hart Lane had that real old style feel to it. Yeah, you're going back to a business premises now, really.
Yeah, you are.
It's like going into a supermarket, so into a shop. They're trying to sell you stuff before you get to the actual main event.
Yeah.
You've got to bypass the bars and the shop before you get to the pitch. It's like putting sweets to a checkout in a supermarket. It
is. It's sad because it's a lovely stadium. Don't get me wrong. I love going, but I just feel the spirit of Bill Nick's not at that stadium.
No. The only thing, we could do with a bit of that. I mean, Bill Nick's buried beneath the stadium, so let's hope he resurrects himself one of these days and influences the way things are going to go for our club.
I hope he comes out of the ground in the middle of a match and just bollocks a player. That would be something, wouldn't it?
That's true. That's unlikely to happen.
Can you imagine him coming out of the ground? Or you stop effing playing? Did Bill Nick ever swear? I don't think he did he, Philip?
Once or twice. He was a dour Yorkshireman who religious sort of a guy. Wouldn't have believed in swearing too much,
Yeah.
I think Eddie Bailey did all the swearing for him.
I think so. Jared said, "How much cash has she to give?" I know more. I can't say a lot at the moment. I'm waiting for the go ahead on it, but I know a little bit more than I can say to you lads because I have signed an NDA, so I get in trouble. My source will get in trouble, but believe me, something's happening. Correct, Philip. We need to win some trophies to resurrect the club. Please do. Philip hasn't got long. He's in his 70s now, bless him, and he's probably got another 20 years left. So before we stick him in the old beat. But before we stick him in the old people, so Are we going to have you? Are we going to have you stuffed, Philip, and stuck in the corner?
No, I'll tell you what I'm going to be like. bit like Uncle Albert in that Only Fools and Horses special, but they had him cryogenically frozen.
Yeah. That's for we bring him out once in a while just to make an appearance.
Bring him out every time we play Arsenal.
That's it. We just stick him out there. We just get him to repeat the same thing. Cash at sporting events is an extent method of payment. I'm just visions of you and Uncle Albert. Sorry, Philip. Sorry. Our payment, all your event is a card. Yeah, during the war, off your phone due to COVID, you flash cash. They look at you and I know, just laughed. Right. Oh, Jared's asking you a question: Bobby Smith or Harry Kane?
I think record goal scorer, got to go Harry Kane. Bobby Smith was brilliant. Bobby Smith was a terror of the goalkeepers, but that was in the day when you could actually barge into the goalkeepers, you know. So he was good at that. Harry Kane, I think, record goal scorer for Tottenham. We got to give it to Harry, you know.
You do.
I
would say Jimmy Greaves, though. Jimmy Greaves beat Harry Kane.
Jimmy was so better than the two of them. Jimmy was my idol.
Right. I had my say in this, right? Didn't Lloris say in his book that Levy gave the players watches with the Champions League finalists engraved on them, not Champions League winners? That says a lot. Do you know what? I think Philip put it very politely in the chat the other night. Please go and buy Norman Giller's book. It's going to be far more interesting, far more exciting than Lloris's moaning and groaning and just absolutely crap. He was part of the effing problem. Here's a player that 5-1 down to Newcastle, sat in the dressing room on his arse going, do you know what, lads? I'm not going out in that second half. And then he says 4 years later, he's calling Pochettino, Harry Kane, and the most of that squad a bunch of losers.
Yeah. I'm not even going to comment on Hugo Lloris because as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't exist to me anymore.
No. So if anyone wants...
You mentioned about Norman Giller's book. He wrote it with Steve Perryman, and it's all about Bill Nick. And the good thing about that is at normangiller.com you can buy it on. Because we know Norman. Yeah. Norman's a great guy. The proceeds from that book go to the Tottenham Hotspur Players Trust. Or maybe not that's the actual name of it, but it goes to help former players who weren't earning 150 grand a week when they were playing. It might have fallen on hard times.
Yeah, I mean, Norman Geller, what a man, Philip. You, me interviewed him on the podcast. What a man.
It's absolutely brilliant.
What? And he got married recently.
2 weeks ago, and he got married on his bride's 90th birthday. Well, fair dues to the man, you know.
Fair play to him. I don't know if I should wish him congratulations or commiserations, but one or the other.
Yeah, I think the wedding night was spent watching Spurs play.
Oh, I'm sure she loved that. No, I tell you what, I'll find that podcast, Philip, and I'm going to re-release it again because it's worth watching. It's one of our earliest podcasts.
He's singing "Glory, Glory" at Tottenham Hotspur at the very start of it. You know, like it sets the mood.
That man, right? He met Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He met all them actors in the 60s. He knew there's people. I don't know who. Big up to Early Doors Early Doors TV, the only West Ham fan I do respect. Big up Tony. He is the only West Ham fan I do respect. He's been on the show, Philip. Very nice man. Good. Very, very sensible and a very very knowledgeable West Ham fan. Down to salt of the earth down in the East End.
That's it.
Not like some of them there that need binoculars and love Barney the dinosaur and blow bubbles. Tony doesn't blow bubbles. He told me. But he does have a Barney the dinosaur toy. So I suppose you can't have everything. Big up, Tony. Sorry, I'm only joking. Evening all in the chat. Will McDonald says, Philip, we're going to finish with the last two comments. Philip, he says, Wilton there in a staunch American accent as he looks at Donald Trump and thinks, I didn't vote for you. We're not getting on even to that subject either. That's just enough to say.
No, please don't. Don't.
off the edge. A lot's happened since you last been on, Philip. The world's gone mental. Philip, were you there when Villa were 5-1 down at halftime? Tony Hartley scored 4 goals in the second half, 5-5 full time. I was sick that day, but I was only a lad.
No, that was in the 60s, I think that game was. No, my first
Yeah.
game at White Hart Lane was 1974. So I'd seen him loads of times at Villa Park and Birmingham and West Brom and that. Never, no, I wasn't there. I remember the 4-4 in 2007 on our 125th anniversary. Remember, we were way down to Villa and Yunus Kabul scored the equaliser to make it 4 each. Yeah.
Was Martin Yole the manager then? He wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
No, hang on. That was just hang on. Would he have been? That was November 2007, I think it was. I'm not so sure.
He was there, I think. Or was it Harry Redknapp?
Ramos took over. No, because that's the season we won the League Cup, and Ramos was in charge in February, so it possibly wasn't there.
No, it wasn't. No, maybe not. Jesus, sorry, I'm been given out to now. Poor old Owen.
Oh.
Putting my head down, LOL. And then as soon as he says that, what is the book? What is the book again, please?
Yeah, it's about. I'm not sure the title is. Bill. If you look up normangiller.com, you'll see all the details on us. That's NORMANGILLER.com, and it's written with Steve Perryman about the great Bill Nick.
If Philip will send me the details, and I stick it in the description of this show below. Wilton says, "I'm so sorry I missed Norman Wilton. I will put it up again. I'll find it, re-download it, and I will put it up again." Gerard said, "Who was the biggest failure at Spurs? What player included would be the price tag?" I would have to go for very quickly. Don Ballet. I think he's been the biggest failure at Spurs.
Yeah, he was one of them. Yeah, I think Dembele was very poor. Going back a bit. Yeah, no, Dembele. He was a record signing who cost us a fortune. Good luck.
And then last but not, we're going to end with a legend. Wilton McDonald says, "Damn, I must be old." No, you're not. You're still young. And there we go. And Neil says, "Home fiction book." Oh, that must be it. Is that it? Is that it?
No, that's not it. No. No, I'm actually looking it up. I'm trying to look it up here. Norman Giller.
But guys, that is it. The return of the Mac, as should have named this show. Philip, it's been great to have you on.
Enjoyed it.
It has been great. I've enjoyed that tonight. What do you think now so if people want to get in contact with you, is there any way people can find you? That can find you on X, WhatsApp?
I'm on it, but I don't post much on it. I'm more a lurker than a poster, So no, send the message here, and Dermot will pass it on to me. The best thing.
Yeah. Well, look, put your X in, Philip, so people can get hold of you. Put your also put your YouTube channel in as well, because I know you do a bit on your YouTube channel as well. Listen, guys, we're not on. Yeah,
I'm not connected there, so no.
Okay, well, send it to me and I'll put it in for you. We're not on tomorrow, guys. I'm having a couple of days off, so I'm not on tomorrow. Back probably Wednesday evening. No, won't be back. Back on Thursday for the Ireland-Finland game. And then we're back on Friday. See, Philip's already on the road to nowhere with that one. He's got Iceland behind the wheel. Matt Doherty's back in the squad. Yippee. Some things never change. Massive big up to Damien Duff for winning the League of Ireland.
Yeah, well done, Damien. I know he's ex-Chelsea, but he's a good lad.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he had more balls than Robbie Keane. He took an Irish league team and proved himself. So, and then we're back on Friday. I mean, Colin are back with a podcast. Then Saturday we've got the build up to England versus Ireland, and then we've got the game on Sunday. And I am been doing post-match live afterwards as well. And then we've got the build up back to the Premier League. So, guys, Dermo here is going to take a few days off. got a bit of a chest infection, so I want to get rid of it. And also, Mrs. Tron deserves some time for me as well. So she's looking at me like that I'm in trouble. Oh no, she's smiling. She must be shopping. So there you go. If you do want to listen to me, we have a new very quickly on our gaming channel, on our Twitch channel as well. Double Dom Gaming on Twitch. We've started the pro clubs where Dave Harris is our manager. And there's a few of us got playing pro clubs. Apparently, I'm the new Roy Keane in midfield. I played one game, Philip, and got sent off within 5 minutes. And then the second game I played, I got sent off within 13 seconds.
Well done.
So I did Roy Keane proud.
Very good.
So there you go. On that bombshell. Just a big up to MV Joker Davis as well. Big up. How are you, sir? Great to see you in. Always a great man. This fella here is a proper gentleman. Philip, proper gentleman. But guys, do pick up your memberships as well. Do hit the notification bell. Hit the subscription. 32 away from 2K. If you become a member, reach 2K, you get invited into the competition to wear a Gary Lineker shirt, signed shirt. And Philip will also do a lap around Dublin topless once you wear 2K as well. He's promised me he'd do that as well. Or he will streak at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, whatever comes through.
Have you got your Arsenal shirt ready for when England beat us?
No, that one's completely gone out of the woodwork. Everyone's forgotten about that. Why did you have to bring that back up?
I just reminded them, though.
Yeah. Bring back the Tottenham stick. Some say he's somewhere down in my downfall. Some say he's got a pin in me as well. But on that bombshell, thank you all for watching, Philip. It's been a blast. Great to have you back, sir.
Good fun.
It's been good fun. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, get us to 3K. Let's get the 2K before Christmas. It'd be a great lot for me and for Philip. I know Philip is not on all the time, but he is behind the background. He is part of the channel. He's bred into the channel, if you know what I mean. That didn't come out right. I know it didn't.
Come out right. If you're talking about Arsenal, maybe it did, but no.
Yeah, no, that did not come out right. I just know what I've just said. Bollocks. Anyway, Owen's seen the good.
While you're ahead, go on.
I quit right on that bombshell. Thank you all very much. Go on, you Spurs, and Big Ange we trust. We never stop. Coys.